Hey band class, this is Mr. Sutherland here, and we're going to do a little bit of music finally with our fingerings on the instrument. Now, in the other videos, we've already discussed how to assemble our instrument and how to get a good embouchure. Remember that our teeth are on top of the mouthpiece, our bottom lip is slightly covering our bottom teeth, and that the reed goes on the bottom lip and your teeth go on the top of the mouthpiece. We take about halfway of the mouthpiece into our mouth before we actually exhale. And we'll review that again as we go on to our lesson today in this video. Now, in this video, we're going to go over the first page of our book when we start playing music and going over the fingerings, which is page 4 in your Essential Elements book. Let's get started. Hey, clarinets. We're going to be talking about number 1 in our Essential Elements book and the fingerings for that exercise. So first, you guys already know how to set up your instrument with the reed, ligature, mouthpiece, barrel, and the upper joint. We're not using any other part of the instrument like the lower joint and the barrel. The bell rather, not the barrel. And so we're going to be able to play this with just our right hand holding the barrel and our left hand hovering over the keys. So let's go ahead and look at our very first note, okay, which is G. Now G is placed on the second staff line. That is 1, 2, second staff line. That note head is our G. And the fingering for it, you'll see on the left side of the exercise, is no fingering at all. There's no holes or circles filled in with the black, or filled in with black. And so that tells you that there's no fingerings for it. It's just open. And that would be the same fingering as if you had the whole instrument put together, not just the upper joint. So we're just going to hover our fingers over the openings of the keys because you will have holes to put your finger pads on eventually, but we're not going to actually press them down or cover the holes up. So make sure that you don't have the holes covered up completely. You just have them lifted over the holes themselves. Now, another thing to note is that if you try to use a tuner or you have one of those people that has perfect pitch, this is going to be really out of tune because the entire instrument is not put together. So just know it's going to be a little bit sharper or a lot sharper than it's supposed to sound. So let's get into playing number 1, and we're going to try to play it in rhythm. Now, the first note we have is a whole note. That's going to be 4 beats of sound. Okay, when I have the metronome set up, you'll hear and play for 4 counts with 1 breath. Then you'll have a measure of just silence. Okay, that's 4 beats of silence. Then you have another measure where you play another G for 4 counts. And then you have another measure of silence. And that's the entire exercise. We call these long tones. We try to produce the best sound we can for a long period of time. In this case, just whole notes, which are just 4 beats long. So remember that when we start playing, we have to have a good embouchure, good posture, and we have to start the sound with the tonguing articulation, using the tip of our tongue to the tip of the reed to start the vibration, and making sure that we consistently keep the sound the same volume by controlling our air from the diaphragm, not from our head, our lips, or our throat, or our mouth. We want to open up all the airways in our throat, but not force it out, making a sound. We want to make a more of a lower sound through the instrument. Also make sure that the seal around the mouthpiece is a circular shape. We're not biting down with the teeth on top and the teeth on the bottom. You want to make sure the bottom teeth are covered a little bit by the lip and that the angle of the mouthpiece is pretty much almost at a vertical angle up into the mouth rather than directly in like a saxophone would. Okay, so let's get to playing number 1. I'm going to set my metronome at 60 beats per minute. And then when you hear it go off, the first thing you should be doing is tapping your left foot along with the metronome beat. You hear the clicks? That means your heel stays on the ground and you move your toe up and down with the beat. Tap, 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 tap. Okay? I'm going to count you off. I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4. Now on beat 4, that's when you take a deep breath in by keeping your shoulders down, your chin relaxed, your whole body just still except for your diaphragm and your stomach. Expand it all out while you take a breath in, right? In 1 beat. And then on the next note, next beat will be beat 1 of the measure when you start playing that G. Here's what it's going to sound like. So first, you can either do it with me or just I would like for you to listen. Teeth on top, halfway on, bottom lip covered in teeth. Make a nice round seal and breathe through the sides of your mouth. Again, my fingers are hovering over the keys. And notice I'm not hunched over or leaning forward. My back is straight, my shoulders are relaxed, and I'm holding with my right hand on the barrel. 1, 2, 3. I'll stop the metronome. Now, something you may have noticed already is that when you're taking exhalation out, when you're breathing out rather, and you only do it for 4 counts, you might have some leftover air. So it might feel like you still have all this air built up inside that you need to release because it feels uncomfortable. You can still do that by releasing the air just through your nose rather than through the mouthpiece. So when you take a breath in, take enough for the amount of air that you need to produce or have to make a sound for 4 counts. Then, as soon as the rest comes in, release the rest of that air through your nose and get ready to breathe in again on beat 4. So again, make sure we also tongue as we start the note. Let's try it together. Playing position, sit up tall, nice and straight. Make sure we go ta, T-A, ta, on the tip of the reed with the tip of the tongue to start the sound. Notice that we keep it the same volume throughout the whole 4 beats. 1, 2, 3. And there you have it.